Welcome to the students of 11 and 12 class. I am Selim Reza. I hope you all are well. I am also fine with the great mercy of Almighty Allah. Today I like to take the class on post modifier. Previously I completed my lecture on pre-modifier, and today I like to start my lecture on the post modifier. You have already got an idea about post modifier. Modifier. Post modifier is a kind of modifier which takes the place after the modified word and gives extra information about the very particular modified word. Post modifier may be of different kinds. Now I am sharing my screen to make you understand, to make you clear about my lecture on modifiers. See, you know, post modifier is of different kinds. They are infinitive or infinitive phrase, present participle or participle phrase, past participle, prepositional or prepositional phrase, appositive, adjective, relative clause, adverb, and adverbial phrase. These are the kinds of post modifiers. And first of all, we must know about these types of modifier and what are the structure of these modifiers. At first, I like to tell you about infinitive. Infinitive, the formation or structure of infinitive, you know, 2 plus the base form of the verb. If you are asked to use an infinitive as post modifier, you have to use 2 plus base form of the verb. But if you are asked to use infinitive phrase, then you have to use 2 plus the base form of the verb, and you must add something with that very infinitive. See the example, infinitive. First example is, he made an attempt to escape punishment. Here, to escape is an infinitive, and it gives extra information about attempt, and it takes the place after that very particular noun and attempt. So it's a post modifier. It's a post modifier of attempt. Second example, his plan to start the business ended in smoke. Here, to start is an infinitive, and it gives extra information about his plan, a kind of noun phrase, and it takes place after that very noun phrase. So it is also an example of infinitive. His scheme, third example is, his scheme to found a hospital did not come true. What here we find to found. To found is another example of infinitive. Another example, her decision to study medicine. Her decision to study medicine was appreciated. Here, to study gives extra information about her decision and takes place after that very decision. So it's a post modifier, and as it is infinitive, so it is called infinitive, used as here as post modifier. Final example of infinitive is, I took a determination to pass the examination. What kind of determination have you taken to pass the examination? So here to pass gives extra information about determination, takes place after that very particular noun, so it's a post modifier. So infinitive, you know, 2 plus the base form of the verb, and when the very to plus the base form of the verb takes place after a modified word and gives extra information about that very particular word, it will be called infinitive post modifier. Next, we say present participle. It's another kind of post modifier. What is the structure of the present participle? Present participle, the structure of present participle is the base form of the verb. You have to use ing with the base form of the verb. So you see here, I saw the porter lying on the floor. Here I saw the porter lying on the floor. Lying is here a verb with ing, takes place after the noun phrase the porter and gives extra information about that very particular noun. So it's a present participle and here used as post modifier. Another example, he found the girl reading a book. Here we find reading, verb plus read plus ing. So it's a present participle and it gives extra information about the girl and takes place after that very particular noun. So it's a post modifier here and it is present participle. Similarly, we say there was the train leaving the station. Leaving here a post modifier, leaving here a post modifier. So these are the post modifiers which we should use as an as a present participle as post modifier. Next we see past participle. We have already memorized or known about the past participle form of the verb. Whenever we learn a verb, we should learn at least three forms: present form, past form, and past participle form. Here we should use past participle. We see they live in a house abandoned for a long time. Here we find a noun and a house and a verb with past participle abandoned takes place after the very noun and a house and gives extra information about that very preceded noun. So it's a post modifier of the noun. Next, we say none should drink water collected from a pond. Water. Here, a noun and connected a past participle form of the verb takes place after the very water and gives extra information about that very particular word, water. So it's a post modifier. Next, we say we threw some fruits rotten completely. What kind of fruits? Rotten. So rotten here, a modified word which gives extra information about fruits, and the very word takes place, takes the position after that very particular noun. So it's a past modifier here, and as it is past participle, it is called past participle post modifier. Next, we should help the people affected by flood. We should help the people affected by flood. What kind of people should we help? Affected. So affected, another example of post modifier. Final example of past participle is the students encouraged by the teacher have done well. Here we see the students who are encouraged. Encouraged here a past participle form and here it is used as post modifier. Next we see prepositional or adverbial. Whenever we find a preposition, whenever we find a preposition and a preposition before a noun, there we will call them prepositional or adverbial. Here we see the people living in Bangladesh. The people living in Bangladesh. Here in a preposition gives extra information about the very people living. So it's a prepositional phrase used as post modifier. The students of BSHRDC are brilliant. Here of a preposition and used here as a post modifier. They got a good figure in the exam because of studying hard. Here, because of a prepositional phrase used as post modifier. Then we see appositive. Do you know? Do you have any idea about appositive? Appositive means appositive indicates a kind of noun takes place after a noun and gives extra information about that very noun. So a noun gives extra information about another noun is called appositive. Here we find Sakib, a cricketer, is known to all. Here Sakib may be of different persons, but who we know about Sakib. What whom I know? Sakib, the cricketer. Here, a cricketer gives extra information about Sakib. So, cricketer is also here a noun. Sakib also a noun. So, a noun gives extra information about a noun. Is it called? It is called appositive. Tab. What is tab? An electronic device. An electronic device, another noun phrase, gives extra information about that very preceded noun tab. So, an electronic device here is used as appositive. And as it is taken place after the very particular noun, so it's a first modifier. Napoleon. Who is Napoleon? A king of France. It's a phrasal expression, noun phrase, gives extra information about that very particular noun, Napoleon. So it's a modifier. And as it is taken place after that very particular noun, so it is called a post modifier. Final example of appositive is Titanic. A ship hit an iceberg. Someone may ask, what is Titanic? Then we will answer a ship. So a ship is here a noun, gives extra information about the very noun Titanic. So appositive itself a noun and it gives extra information about another noun. So can you clear? Appositive, a noun itself gives extra information about another noun. Is it called appositive? Here we find Titanic. What is Titanic? A ship. So ship may give another information about Titanic. So it's a modifier, and as it is taken place after the very particular nouns, it's a post modifier here. Then we find adjective. Adjective, you know, may also be used as pre-modifier and as post modifier. Here we find adjective used as post modifier. First example is communication of modern age. What kind of communication? Of the modern age is faster. So of modern age gives extra information about communication and it takes place after that very communication. So it's a post modifier and as it gives extra information about noun, so it's an adjective phrase. So here we find adjective used as post modifier. Another example, I bought a shirt of white color. What kind of shirt I bought? Of white color. So of white color here gives extra information about a shirt. So it's a post modifier. Another example we find here, motorbike of Bajaj company. What kind of motorbike? Especially a Bajaj company. So here of